Hello, it's Mark from Lightmap. In this example, we're going to use the new Diffusion Blur to blur the bright small lights in this HDRI map. The benefit of this is you can get a much cleaner render for the same amount of render time. Let's take a look at how we do it. So we've got this HDRI map loaded in with lots of small bright lights on it. And let's duplicate this and then put this one inside of the composite, and then let's hide it. I've set a resolution of 3K for the live map being shared with Blender here, so it's quite a high resolution. So we'll pick this HDR and we'll add another light over the top, a flat background, which is just flat colour over the top. We'll place that here. Now we're going to set the blend mode to low pass. This is going to clamp the brightness to whatever value this light is set to. So let's change it to 150. So you can see here, if I explore this brightness in the view, that the brightness is being clamped because you can see the colour in this area of the light, which you couldn't see before. If I turn this off, there is the full high dynamic range version, and then with this flat background clamping to a value of 150, we've basically chopped off the brightness at 150, which is what we want to do. So that's fine, we'll leave that there. Now let's go into this composite light that's on the top that has the same HDRI map inside, and let's do another flat background. And instead, let's change the blend mode, or we'll leave it at add, but we'll invert that so we are subtracting a brightness from here, and we want to subtract from the value. So we are going to change that value to 150, which is the low pass number we used on the original HDR. So that's going to be 150. So now we've basically taken away 150 brightness from this whole HDRI map, leaving everything above 150, which is what we have in this composite now. So now, if we go back up to the composite itself, we can add a filter to this content here. So we'll add the diffusion blur, and you'll now see all those bright light sources that are above 150 value have now been blurred, but the rest of the HDRI map has not been. So if we zoom into this detail here, you can see we've got these blurred far too much. So let's put it at 0. So there's no blur. And let's zoom into this. I want you to see some area that won't get blurred and then some area that will. So now let's put the percentage up to 0.5. And you can see those small bright lights are now being blurred. Let's go and look at a different area. Let's go and look over here. So put that to 0. The non-blurred version. And if we look on our render here, and we can see how many samples are being collected, we'll let that get up to 200. And we can look at how noisy some of these areas are dealing with those small bright lights. And then if we put this back up to 0.5 and we let that get up to 200 again, we'll see how much smoother and cleaner this render is, with only a very small difference to the reflections. And already you can see this handle, all the noise has disappeared compared to before. So this is how you use the new Diffusion Blur in HDR Light Studio Xenon Drop 2 to blur those light sources above a certain brightness on your HDRI map. Thanks for watching.